Konnichiwa minasan, and welcome back to my channel. I am Reina Scully, coming to you from Japan, where we are quite freaked out by this whole coronavirus situation. So as of recording this video, it is March 3rd right now, and I was actually supposed to be in Los Angeles for some work and to see my dear friends, but I had to cancel all of my travel plans for fear of either being returned immediately to Japan upon my arrival or being unable to come back to Japan entirely due to sudden travel restrictions that may happen while I'm over in LA. I was teetering between going and not going for quite some time now. I'm not really the paranoid type. If anything, I'm more the morbidly curious, overtly confident type, and I was never afraid of contracting it myself. But the moment our Prime Minister Abe requested that all schools across Japan be shut down, I was suddenly very alarmed. And then, 48 hours before my departure, United Airlines actually started restricting flights into and out of Japan, so that made my decision to not go for me. That being said, this is really screwing up my work life and my ability to appropriately plan out the work that I have lined up for the next couple months, and it is becoming increasingly stressful. The main issue is that I have a public job, so I am very afraid that people will vehemently oppose my presence outside of Japan anywhere, and that I would get a lot of hate for irresponsibly traveling during this time, which is completely understandable, by the way. So in order to help me make my decisions, I've been talking to a bunch of different people from everywhere, and the more people I speak to, the more it is becoming confusing and convoluted. Most of my friends that I've spoken to from the US are either from LA or New York, and they are for the most part not too concerned. They are all acutely aware and cautious of the situation, but it's not affecting their daily lives. Sidebar, obviously everyone is different, and there are for sure people out there that are ridiculously extremely cautious to the point of paranoia, but the people that I have spoken to just happen to not be of that category. But meanwhile, in Japan, people are generally panicked and behaving apprehensively, and I thought it was so interesting to see such a stark difference in how we're all perceiving this situation, so I thought I'd share some of what Japan's reactions are, because some messed up shit is going on over here. Alright, so first and foremost, I'm sure a lot of you know this already, but Hokkaido, our northernmost island, has declared a state of emergency, and their governor has requested that all residents refrain from leaving their homes unless necessary throughout the past weekend, and this state of emergency is supposed to stay in effect until March 19th. And in the same vein, most events that draw a crowd, like sporting events and concerts and festivals, have pretty much all been unanimously canceled nationwide. But I also feel like that's kind of a global thing too. I think a lot of events worldwide have been canceled. Next, on the sort of economic front, we are completely out of face masks and hand sanitizers. They are truly sold out everywhere across the whole country. You cannot get any anywhere. And when trying to purchase them online, they are either completely out of stock, or the price surges are so absurd and high, or their shipping is equally as ridiculously high, so it's pretty much virtually impossible to obtain face masks or hand sanitizers. People are also currently frantically buying toilet paper all across Japan, but this is all due to fake news. So bullshit rumors or fake news is called Dimma in Japanese, and it actually comes from the English term demagogy, which is the action or fact of winning support by exploiting emotions, ignorance, and prejudice of ordinary people. Which is simply and exactly what rumors and fake news is. So someone out there wrote that because Japan gets most of their toilet paper from China, Japan is now currently running out of toilet paper, but that is a complete lie. Japan is not reliant on toilet paper imports from China whatsoever. But this misinformation, or Dimma, went completely haywire. Everyone panicked and bought as much toilet paper as possible, leaving most stores completely out of stock for the time being. So although it's all bullshit, it is a little bit freaky because by the time I went out to go check it out myself, every single store had this sign that says only one per household, and barely any stores had any toilet paper left. However, this situation will resolve itself shortly because Japan is in fact not running out of toilet paper whatsoever. Stores will have everything stocked back up again, and hopefully everyone will stop acting so rash and crazy. This particular Dimma actually horribly affected a YouTuber here. He's arguably the most popular YouTuber in Japan. Hikaking, I love him, I watch him all the time, but he just recently put up a video talking about how he is getting bombarded with hate because some asshole wrote a Dimma article about how Japan is running out of toilet paper because Hikaking bought all of it. Absolute lie. And they had a screenshot of a video of his from 4 years ago where he's surrounded by toilet paper. And people believed that. I cannot believe how dumb people can be. This screenshot is from a video from 4 years ago, clearly having absolutely nothing to do with the current situation. And Hikaking is such a nice stand-up guy that he even apologized in his video, even though he's not at fault whatsoever in any way, shape, or form. I know it is not the biggest deal in the world or anything, but I'm like so furious about this, especially because I'm like a fan of his, but also he just simply does not deserve this. Now, moving on to more serious matters, another term that is blowing up on Japanese social media right now is kansen kakushi. So kansen means infection or infected, and kakushi means to hide, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It's hiding the fact that someone is infected or hiding the infection. This phrase is garnering attention right now because a number of people are coming out and exposing the fact that they were told directly by their employer that they are not allowed to reveal or announce publicly if someone in the company has been confirmed to be infected. The company and employer's excuse was to not evoke panic, but it's actually to prevent the company from facing economic damage and going under, which is highly immoral to say the least. The news is all over this, and supposedly there are many people claiming that this is occurring at their place of work and that they are being threatened with termination if they expose their company. Which brings me to an even scarier notion. A lot of people are very afraid that the government is withholding information regarding how many people are truly infected, mainly because we don't have enough resources to actually test everybody who is suspected of being infected. Pretty much every physician that's been on the news to talk about this as an expert has confirmed that way more people are infected than we realize, and there is very little we can do to stop it from spreading further. A lot of people mention that the same could be said about the flu or any other virus that is particularly dangerous to the elderly or anyone who is immunocompromised. But the real issue is that the coronavirus is very new, and we know very little about its prognosis and how it develops once you get it, and if you recover from it, whether you are truly free of it, especially because there have already been some cases where people that have recovered from it actually have tested positive again for it later on. It's pretty much impossible to say or predict how this is going to develop, especially because every piece of information is rapidly changing every single day, but it does feel really grim right now. I'm obviously no expert on the subject. I just wanted to let you know what Japan is going through as someone that lives here. Myself and my family are entirely fine. We are pretty much going about our lives as per usual, just with added precautions like diligently and constantly washing our hands, limiting our outings in general, and certainly not going to crowded places. I think we are all very concerned, though, about a sudden steep escalation. So we're all kind of keeping our eyes out for that. And that is it for now. Thank you so much for watching. Please be careful out there. Be cautious without being aggressive or hateful. And remember to always check your sources when getting information, and especially so when you are spreading that information. I know it's becoming increasingly difficult, but you just have to do your best. I will see you in my next video, which will certainly be way more upbeat than this one. Thank you again so much for watching. そんじゃまたね。